All right, everyone. We're joined by Jeff Boals for the Ohio Bobcats Coaches Show. Jeff, you guys got a 4-game win streak, 2 big wins, one on the road against Buffalo. That's a 1-point win, and another win on the road against Central Michigan. To you, how important is that to go on the road and beat those 2 teams and extend that win streak?
Yeah, anytime you get a road win, it's huge in any league. And I think the Buffalo game was, big because, it was a team who was number one offensive rebounds. They had a lot of offensive firepower, and it was a great win. And then last night, Central Michigan, OU has not won up there since 2013, I heard.
Right.
So it was a good win, getting up there and playing well.
48 points in the paint in one of those wins, 42 points in the paint in the other one. That seems to now be your offense identity, at least in this 4-game winning streak. Is that what you're seeing so far, and why is that?
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing we look for, Justin, we look for paint touches and post touches. And you can get a paint touch by driving it, throwing the ball in there. And that's been kind of our recipe, on the offensive end. Like you mentioned, last night we shot 80% from 2-point field goal, which is unheard of. And, so we want to keep getting the ball down low. Dwight Wilson, I believe, is number 2 in the country in field goal percent offense. So we got to keep feeding the big dog, and good things are going to happen.
Dwight is really coming into his own throughout this season. You've gone to more and more often for points in the paint, the game high with that 21 against Buffalo. What did you see from him that was working?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a load down there. He just takes up so much space, and he's so strong. And, to be honest with you, we need to get him the ball more and make it a more calculated effort to get him the ball, because good things happen when he touches it. And we chart paint and post touch points per possession. And we chart points per possession when we have no paint or post touch, and it's astronomical, the difference. So we got to keep getting him the ball, and good things are happening.
Is that something that you want to see too that comes through on the free throw line, is getting him the ball more often? Because I think maybe the only thing that I saw in those games that maybe you would want more is that you shot the free throws, I think 11 and 10 free throws in those two games. Do you want more free throw attempts, or are you okay with not having those if you have the points in the paint?
No, I mean, you'd love to have them, and that's, if you're going to nitpick our offense, which I think is pretty good, is that we don't get to the foul line, as much. We don't have a lot of slashers, guys driving like a lot of other teams do, and Dwight is shooting like 70% from the field, so he's got great touch. And if there's one thing that we need to get better at, is try to get to the free throw line.
You guys led most of the game against Buffalo, and there are several times where they cut the lead to 2, they cut the lead to 2, they cut it to 1, then they tie the game, and then they take the lead. It seemed like, though, you guys had an answer every single time. What does that say about your team, that they didn't get deflated, that, okay, we were leading the whole game, and then we gave it up towards the end, and then you came back and got the win?
Yeah, that was really big. One thing we always talk about, bend but don't break. And other teams going to make runs during the game. You got to keep your composure. And I thought our guys did a great job of keeping composure in both games. We got down 2 last night. I think it was 44-42. And then we went on a 20-4 run. And, give our guys a lot of credit for keeping their composure and making the plays when they needed to.
You guys had 4 guys in double figures on that win against Buffalo, and then 6 guys yesterday. Is there any stopping a team, at least on offense, when they can have guys that have 6 players score in double figures on any given night?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, normally you'd like to have 3, right? But then to have 4 and then 6, that kind of shows you that the offense is clicking pretty well. Guys are sharing the basketball, and when you have different guys who can score like that, I think we've had 5 guys maybe score over 20 points at some point during the year. And when you have that type of, I guess, across the board, that anyone can score, that helps your offense.
Maybe one of the other things to nitpick is the turnovers. I think you guys had 16 and 17 or 15 and 16 in those 2 games. Where do you think you need to maybe get a little bit better at to take care of the ball?
When you look at it, I think we're shooting almost 50% from the field.
Right.
And you want to get shots because you're making 1 of every 2 shots. So when you turn the ball over, you have no chance to score. So if you can cut that, 5 or 6 turnovers less than what you did, now you're getting another 6 to 9 points, 4 to 6 points a game to help. And taking care of the basketball was a huge key going into both those games, because both teams really, were angling for steals. They kind of gamble a little bit. They thrive on those live ball turnovers, like we talked about, to get easy transition points. And, I think we did a good job for the most part of not letting those high amount of turnovers hurt us because our transition defense is pretty good.
During this win streak, you've had a couple of close games and a couple of games you've won by double digits. What do you learn from your team when you do go on the road and win a close one like you did at Buffalo, and you score with 25 seconds left and then don't allow another point to win?
Yeah, that was a big time kind of a gut check, and when you go up one, and very similar situation to last year. We scored, and they came back down. I think it was 7 seconds to go and scored on us to win by one or two, and we came back down, turned the ball over. But when you're in that situation, we always talk about, hey, this is a game-winning stop. You need one stop, and a lot of times in the preseason you practice those situations. And last year they ran pretty much the identical same play that they did this year. And Ben Vanderplas made an unbelievable defensive play, blocking the shot, and then Dwight Wilson got the rebound to kind of close it out.
Knock on wood, you guys have kind of gotten into a routine here, as much of a routine as possible in this day and age. How nice has it been just to be able to practice and play these games?
Yeah, I mean, definitely different. And I'll give our guys a ton of credit. Like you said, knock on wood. We haven't had one incident, to this date from July. And I think that's kind of unheard of with everything that's going on. And a lot of it's luck, a lot of it's who we have in our program, a lot of it's, our guys doing what they're supposed to do off the floor, sacrificing the self-discipline. And when you can kind of get into a routine like that, it definitely helps.
There's been some talk about conference tournaments not happening this year because of COVID and just going straight into the NCAA tournament. And I'm curious just to get your take on where you stand on having a tournament happen for a conference tournament, and how important it is for teams that are in the MAC and teams that are in schools where an automatic bid is what it's all about, really, to get into that big dance.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say when you're at the high major level, of not, putting yourself in that situation to kind of mitigate the risk.
Right.
But when you're in the Mid-American Conference like last year, the dream got taken away from, the 8 teams that were in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a chance. And I think this year, we limited it to 8 only, being able to go to Cleveland.
Right.
And I think we'll definitely have ours. And I think we need to have ours just to give somebody an opportunity, to go to the NCAA tournament.
You guys were able to get Bowling Green on the schedule for Saturday, is that right?
Yeah, so Eastern Michigan and Northern Illinois went on pause, and Bowling Green was supposed to play, I believe, Northern.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to play Eastern, so that game got canceled for Saturday, and we the league office called around and asked different scenarios, and we agreed to play it. So it'll kind of help us in the back end because we were supposed to play Central Michigan at home on Tuesday, at Miami Thursday, at Bowling Green on Saturday. But we'll take that 25th game and move it a couple weeks earlier. That way you're not playing 4 games in 8 days, 3 games in 5 days, to kind of space it out a little bit. So
and all those games on the road too.
Unfortunately.
What do you see from Bowling Green? They've always had a team of talented shooters. What else do you see from them?
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple high-level players, great role players. We obviously lost to them in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think they shot 40-some free throws. We lost by 8. We were controlling the whole first half. They controlled the second half. That was our first game without Jason Preston. So we're definitely excited to play.
All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate your time as always. Good luck in the coming weeks, and hopefully you get this win streak rolling still.
All right, thanks, Justin.